Can you play with the AGC mode a little bit to better the picture? Did you say AGC? Yeah. Okay, I'll manipulate the auto gain control a little bit. Stand by. The R5 command, it's already been sent. Did the picture improve? Well, you be the judge and see what. Yeah, I'll send the R5 again. Yeah, because there's too much lighting right now with the AGC mode. I think this should be better now. This setting. Should I increase? It's going into Eclipse, so I'm going to increase it one more notch. Okay? Yeah, leave it like that. We have a stable visual on the station. Should I enlarge the TV picture more? Yes. Okay. Sending that command.
Soyuz Commander Alexander Skvortsov, with the same view you're looking at as the station grows larger in the field of view through his control panel and the video being received from the external camera on the International Space Station's Soyuz TMA-12M vehicle. A series of impulse burns underway to fine-tune the Soyuz's path to the space station as Skvortsov, Oleg Artemyev and Steve Swanson near their destination, with a docking expected about 35 minutes from now.
1.3 is the range. 49 is the rate. Copy that.
Soyuz just over a kilometer away. Its approach rate already has decreased to about 4.5 meters per second. That will continue to decrease through the time of the fly-around that will be initiated about 6 minutes from now, starting at a range of just 400 meters, a fly-around angle of about 121 degrees to position the Soyuz into alignment with the Poisk module docking port on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. The visiting vehicle officer in Mission Control in Houston reports to Flight Director Ron Spencer that Impulse 5 is underway. This is about a 6 meter per second burn with a duration of just over 70 seconds. Once again, likening it to a mid-course correction burn that will precisely fine-tune the Soyuz's path in these final minutes of rendezvous. During the two-day sojourn from the launch pad to this point, the crew on board the Soyuz, Swanson, Skvortsov, and Artemyev had an opportunity to doff their Sokol launch and entry suits to stow them. They have an upper compartment called the orbital module that has a potty as well as a bit of room for the crew to stretch out, as well as where their provisions are located. They were able then to enjoy the view of Earth and to communicate with the flight controllers here in Korolyov over Russian ground stations over the course of these 2 days in transit. This is, again, the old way that rendezvous used to be conducted from a Soyuz vehicle, both in the days of the Mir space station as well as the International Space Station, until a year ago when Chris Cassidy and his crewmates, Alexander Mazurkin and Pavel Vinogradov, executed the first single-day launch to docking in the space station era, the International Space Station era. The next three crews also executed that single-day 6-hour 4-orbit rendezvous procedure. It was to have occurred again this time, but the failure of a critical rendezvous burn just a few hours after launch back on Tuesday evening U.S. time caused a default in the rendezvous plan to the backup 34-orbit plan that is currently in the final minutes of being executed. As you see, the Soyuz very calmly, very gently approaching the International Space Station, now about a half a kilometer away from the Poisk module. Its rate of closure now down to less than 2 meters per second.
Rate is 2 or 195er? Okay, we see the same values.
We're now inside 30 minutes before our expected docking time, which is 6:58 p.m. Central Time, 3:58 a.m. here at the Russian Mission Control Center. Everything continuing to go very smoothly. The crew talking only when required to the flight control team here in Korolyov. All of these activities being monitored closely by the U.S. flight control team at the Johnson Space Center in Houston.
We're getting a stable visual on the station. Braking burn. We can see and confirm. Copy.
The braking burn that was just reported is the precursor to the Soyuz initiating its fly-around of the International Space Station to precisely align the forward docking probe with the Poisk module docking port, to which it will come into contact with about 28 minutes from now.
По угловым размерам подтверждаю. Расстояние 440 метров.
Rate of 400 meters can be confirmed based on the size of the station on the monitor.
Стыковочный узел МИМ-2 наблюдаю.
And we can see the MRM-2 docking node.
And Skvortsov reporting a visual on the Poisk module, MRM-2 as it is called in engineering lingo for the Mini Research Module 2. And the fly-around has now been initiated right on time by the automatic computers on the Soyuz. This fly-around will take the crew on a 121-degree excursion to precisely align the Soyuz with that Poisk module. That is their port of destination for a docking that is expected to take place about 26 minutes from now. Sailing serenely over the South Pacific at an altitude of 252 statute miles, the Soyuz TMA-12M spacecraft is aligning itself with the Poisk module. In about 8 minutes, it will put on the brakes for the start of just a couple of minutes or so of station keeping at a range of 195 meters. Everything is continuing to go as planned. All of the Soyuz systems in excellent shape. In the final minutes before Swanson, Skvortsov, and Artemyev reach their destination and their home for the next 167 days.
The rate 062, 250 meters, 048 is the rate. We're flying around and approaching.
Подходим. Медленный такой, да, облет, как бы я сказал.
Yeah, it's a very smooth, slow fly around. It's almost like we're station keeping almost.
Расстояние 240 метров.
Range 240. Rate 048. Okay.
Постыковочного узла устойчиво наблюдаю, все в норме. Вот идет до облет.
Docking compartment-wise, everything is nominal. We're flying around. Range 240, 048 at the closing rate. Pitch maneuver.
Миш, с каютного сейчас хорошо должно наблюдаться.
Misha, you should be getting a really nice visual of us from your crew quarters window.
Подскажи в клетках диаметра сам.
Moscow Inaudible.
Улыбайтесь, вас фотографируют.
Да, я понял.
Say cheese.
Расстояние 219 метров, 0,24 на сближение.
Range 219. Closing rate 024. Pitch cleanup. Copy that.
Nearing the end of this fly around, just a moment or two from now, the approach rate will be dampened out to 0 for the start of the station keeping. A couple of minutes to allow the Russian flight control team here in Korolyov to assess the alignment of the Soyuz to the Poisk module docking port.
Вышло не очень хорошо видно из каюты правой.
Not really, not a really good visual from DC-1, but a very nice one from the starboard crew quarters. Okay, I'm smiling. Smile away.
Продолжается облет по Донгажу, расстояние 218, 200, поддерживается так вот в среднем.
Pitch maneuver in progress, rate of about 200. 013 to 015 is the closing rate. Copy all. Isn't it so beautiful?
Так, причем не горит, да?
Yeah.
You don't have the final approach illuminated? No.
Расстояние выдерживается 200 метров, скорость 0.
Still at 200 meters, and the closing rate is 0. Are you copying Moscow? Copy. We have you loud and clear, and the video is beautiful.
Принял.
Copy all.
This view of the Soyuz spacecraft inside the descent module, the middle section of the three-compartment Soyuz vehicle, Steve Swanson, Alexander Skvortsov, and Oleg Artemyev, as they are approaching the station-keeping point, executing a flawless backup rendezvous plan that was required after the fast-track 4-orbit 6-hour rendezvous scenario was scrapped on Tuesday evening because of the inability to conduct one of the first critical rendezvous burns a couple of hours after launch. However, well understood, and with all of the Soyuz systems operating in flawless shape now, the Soyuz is just minutes away from docking to restore the International Space Station to a 6-person crew.
Yeah, we're almost complete with the pitch adjustment at this point. Copy that. Standing by for a roll cleanup.
Still flying over the South Pacific, the Soyuz and the International Space Station beginning a southwest to northeasterly track that shortly will carry the two spacecraft over Chile at an altitude of 252 statute miles, just minutes away from entering an orbital sunset.
Расстояние 180 метров.
Range 180.
As you can see, the automated computers on the Soyuz currently conducting a roll of the vehicle. This maneuver enables the Soyuz to have its solar arrays oriented in the correct position for docking just prior to the initiation of station keeping.
Copy, Moscow.
180 метров.
180 meters, 180. 07 is the rate.
And the Soyuz now has completed its braking, its roll maneuver now complete, and we're in station keeping.
Station keeping right in front of the...
This is likely to last only a couple of minutes. Everything should be assessed very quickly by the Russian flight controllers before they give the go for the initiation of the automated commanding for final approach.
Yeah, we confirm the final approach log on the monitor. Copy and concur. Chelsea, get ready for final approach. Copy and work. Switching formats. Moving on to the other display. Moscow and station speaking at the same time. Do I need to manipulate AGC mode?
Выдаю.
Send the...
Выдал команду причал.
Send...
Выдал.
Send the final approach command. It's been sent. Okay, copy. Now you...
And wasting little time, we're on final approach. Station keeping was assessed by the Russian flight controllers here. Everything in great shape. The alignment is perfect. And the crew is now in the final steps and the final minutes before docking is completed. The International Space Station will be placed right before docking into what is called a free drift. That will disable all external thrusters from firing that would perturbate the ability of the Soyuz to dock cleanly with the Poisk docking port, and will facilitate the ability of the relative motion of the two vehicles to dampen out against one another so that the docking probe can be retracted. That, in turn, will initiate the closing of the hooks on both sides of the docking interface to form a hard mate.
Do not. We're still 6 minutes away from eclipse, so do not activate the lights. There was a lot of echo. We didn't copy. Repeat. About now. A bit better.
This docking will not be occurring over Russian ground stations. The docking expected to occur over northern Brazil, and as such, the video of the approach of the Soyuz for its docking to the International Space Station is handled by U.S. communications assets. Will be handing over between tracking and data relay satellite systems satellites here shortly for about a 1-minute loss of signal.
Yeah, just basically, follow your own discretion. If you feel like you need the light activated, go ahead and do it, by all means. Activate the light. Yeah, we're at about 100 meters, so I don't think it'll be all that useful, to be honest with you. Okay. We're going to stand off and not activate the light. We see the docking compartment, stable visual. We can confirm.
You see the Poisk module's docking port coming into alignment with the crosshairs on this external camera view that is being monitored not only aboard the Soyuz by Skvortsov and his crewmates, but by Mikhail Turin inside the Zvezda service module of the Russian segment of the station. Currently about 75 meters away from docking at a range of 47 meters, the Soyuz will conduct a braking thruster test, and the command will be issued to retract the core's automated rendezvous antenna.
Maybe you should go ahead and activate the light and see if it actually improves the visual of the target. Okay, and work. Okay, the light is on. Yeah, it's not really all that helpful. Yes, stand by. You're going to fly in a little closer, and then it'll become ever more useful. Okay. Учился? MCCM? Sasha, can you do some AGC modes switching from input 1 panel?
Олег, сейчас будешь выкручивать экран.
Oleg, you will be changing the settings on the monitor. I'll tell you when. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, we are confirming that the target is centered. Okay, range and rate, please.
Дальность 27 метров.
Range 27.
Скорость 0,1.
Rate 0,1. Copy that.
Мишень в центре, дальность.
Target is centered.
25 метров.
25 meters range. And that's confirmed based on the size of the docking interface. 0,1 is the rate. Copy all. Everything is nominal.
Good views of the Soyuz TMA-12M spacecraft. Its 3 occupants, Skvortsov, Swanson, and Artemiev, now monitoring their approach rate, which is down to about 1/10 of a meter per second, just 20 meters away from docking to the Poisk module.
Roll misalignment.
Так, ну и прошла инструкция, СВ готов к закрытию антенны.
And we just received a instruction to retract the antenna.
Понял.
Moscow unintelligible. We copy.
Ты ближний свет включал на фаре?
Нет.
Включи.
Oleg, did you activate the close range light? Negative. Go ahead and do that. Okay. Done. Copy. Very good.
Ну, мишень практически в центре.
The target is pretty much centered.
Так, Саш, мы опять висим, давай на место.
Okay. Sasha, we need your range and rate reports because the picture is frozen again.
Скорость 0,2.
Rate,
Получается,
I guess, up about 0, about 20 meters based on the squares.
0,1.
And the rate is 0.1.
Принято.
Copy.
Картинка восстановилась.
All right. And the video is back on.
Понял, остановил.
Copy, Moscow.
По клеткам.
Based on the
Flying over Paraguay now, the Soyuz inside 20 meters to docking. Perfect approach rate of 1/10 of a meter per second. The automated rendezvous systems on the Soyuz precisely aligning the forward docking probe on the vehicle to the Poisk module docking port. Everything in preparation now for contact and capture momentarily.
Мишень в центре. Все в норме.
target is centered. Everything's nominal.
Принято, наблюдаем.
Copy. Copy and concur.
Скорость порядка, так, 0,1 есть.
Rate is about 0.1.
Так, ожидаем касания.
Standing by for contact.
Now just a handful of meters away, flight controllers here in Korolyov and in Houston standing by for contact and capture of the International Space Station.
Ожидаем касания.
Standing by for contact.
Есть касание.
We have contact. Confirming contact.
Contact confirmed, docking confirmed.
Moscow copies the...
Docking confirmed at 6:53 p.m. Central Time
We have mechanical capture.
as the International Space Station and the Soyuz flew 252 miles over southern Brazil.
Индикаторный режим.
Есть цепка.
Есть цепка.
We have indicator mode. We have capture confirmed.
Поздравляю, Джоси.
Congratulations, Josie.
68.
Now move on to page 6.8.
Спасибо за поздравления.
Thank you for the good words. Congratulations to you as well. Pressing on with the steps on page 6.8.
A flawless approach, a flawless docking for Skvortsov, Swanson, and Artemyev 2 days after they had launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Their fast-track approach to the station having been scrubbed because of an orientation attitude glitch in the onboard computers. However, with everything performing flawlessly since then, the trio now has arrived at the International Space Station and will spend the next 2.5 hours or so conducting leak checks and systems checks of their Soyuz vehicle before hatches will open so that they can be greeted by the current residents of the station, Expedition 39 Commander Koichi Wakata, NASA Flight Engineer Rick Mastracchio, and Russian cosmonaut Mikhail Turin. Again, docking occurring just a few minutes ahead of schedule at 6:53 p.m. Central Time, 3:53 a.m. here on Friday morning in Moscow. The docking occurring 252 statute miles over southern Brazil.
Supply off. Okay, go ahead.
Soyuz.